Last week I was scrolling through anime Twitter, and as we already know, that app is not toxic in any way and gives birth to the most healthy discussions I've ever seen, and I came across a post by the anime YouTuber called Alexander that got me wanting to make this video in the first place. Maybe it's because of years of people telling me that I overthink things and reach hard for fake depth. I know that isn't true now, of course, but anything that mocks or discourages people from delving into stories they love is the lamest thing imaginable and really sucks to see. Saying a story is shit, obviously totally cool. Mocking people for finding meaning and depth in that story, no thanks, not interested in interacting with people like that. Now, this really got me thinking about how much pushback there is in regards to in-depth analysis, and this all stems back to this fake deep narrative people push. One of the biggest examples of this is the discourse I see between fandoms of popular shonen manga. Nowadays, people treat series like a cult or being a part of a gang. It's really weird. For example, Jujutsu Kaisen is a series that incorporates a lot of symbolism to elevate moments throughout the series, and I have heard people from other fandoms ridicule others for making think pieces with the reasoning being they are just writing this stuff to jerk themselves off and make themselves look smart. Same thing with series, like Hunter x Hunter, for example, that's another prominent one, or also too, anyone who kind of likes the seinen series, for example. But don't get it twisted, there are people that think they are significantly more intelligent than others because they wrote a thread, or people that call others dumb because they didn't notice the foreshadowing leading up to a climactic plot point. But in a way, I kind of get it, because for years, critical in-depth discussion is met with aggressive responses like you're reaching hard for fake depth or you are writing for the author, and it's obviously why these people would respond back with aggression. Hate is going to be met with hate, and this results in two fandoms that have a clear love for their respective series disrespecting the other when truthfully you aren't that different at all. And I just see these arguments throughout like many different fandoms in the anime community, and it's just all really dumb. I've also heard this argument of, well, this person wrote the thread in this specific development in the series, and because they think it connects to the themes of the series so well, they think that it's good, even though I believe the execution isn't good. But there's nothing inherently wrong with that. The beauty of discussion is that at the end of the day, nobody needs to agree all the time, just understand another. And that's why images like this annoy me with a burning passion. It just validates these pretentious individuals that believe discussion to only be surface level, or else you are going to be giving the author too much credit, for example. And these same people will then make think pieces on stories that they view are worthy for in-depth discussion. For example, it's okay to find meaning and depth in a story like Chainsaw Man, but it's not okay for a story like Dragon Ball. It's okay to find meaning and depth in a story like Black Clover, but it's not okay for a story like Jujutsu Kaisen. Another massive example of this is the conclusion of Attack on Titan that split the fandom into two, and it was really toxic discussion between both sides. And you can vice versa, mix and match, and the list goes on, but I think you get my point. The people that do this are just massive hypocrites who pick and choose what can be looked at on a deeper level, and nobody has the right to determine that. People that mock others for writing threads or creating in-depth analysis videos discussing their love for a series are disgusting. You sit there and ridicule a person for taking the time out of their day to articulate their love for a series. Regardless of whether you agree or disagree with their interpretation, there needs to be the bare minimum level of respect, and that is appreciation. There's so many times I will finish reading an analysis thread or watch a video taking an in-depth look on a story and think to myself, I don't agree. And I'll be completely honest, sometimes I may feel that person was reaching to an extent, and I'll still like the video or post and say this was an interesting delve into the topic and got me thinking. Thanks. So why must everything always be about objectivity? I wholeheartedly believe that the only way for healthy discussion to return to the anime community is for this constant battle of raging egos to die. And I know platforms like Twitter have rotted our mind into believing that everything needs to be a battle of dominating one another, but if we can switch towards a mentality that prides itself in finding the value in understanding one another while having differing opinions, I think fruitful discussion will be on the horizon. And that's not to say I'm perfect either. We all fall victim to this, but I think change begins when we start to acknowledge our faults. So if you stuck around to the end, just know I appreciate you, and I hope this video resonated with you in some way that has you thinking about the type of person you want to be when discussing the thing we all love, anime, with another person. Look forward to talking to you all in the comments below, and if you enjoy anime content that keeps it real, consider subscribing so when I hit 10K you can brag about being a day one. I have to get back in the kitchen to cook. Peace.